Banana is one of the staple food crops grown in Kenya for both home consumption and for markets. Bananas are widely grown in most parts of the country for cooking and dessert. Well, with the different varieties available in Kenya, today we explore the improved variety, which is a blend of the local variety and tissue culture. The expert says this variety produces high yield and is resistant to diseases. Are you curious to see which variety is this and how it looks? Well, then let's go to the farm. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to another episode of Kilimo na Biashara. We are in Limuru, and anytime we're in Limuru, I have to remind you that the weather here is quite erratic. One second it's sunny, the next it's drizzling or even raining. So that will be the drill today. Expect any of the weather patterns. Well, we are here today to explore banana farming. There are different varieties of banana farming. We've done tissue culture, and you can check that as well in our YouTube. And we've done plantain farming. And we've not done the local variety, and that's why we're exploring the local banana variety today. What sets aside this local variety from the rest? And that is what we are exploring today. Are you ready for that? Then let's join our farmer here today, shall we? Let's go. Samuel.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
I see you're busy already.
Yeah, I'm busy, Linda. We want to plant some bananas.
You've started without me.
Yeah, we have started.
So what did I miss?
Yeah, you missed a lot, but we shall take you through what we have done.
So what's the first step? What do you do, especially when you want to start from the ground?
The first thing that we have done is to make the planting hole. Normally, if you are preparing the planting hole, it is important that you take care of the measurements. The measurements actually depends on the type of climate. Where we have enough rainfall, like in this place, we can use we can dig the hole 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters, and then 60 centimeters deep. In some areas where it is dry, we can go up to 90 centimeters deep, but the size still remains 60 by 60.
And how about manure? Because I know there are different varieties of manure for a particular crop.
By the time we are planting, the manure should be well decomposed so that it can release the nutrients. So after that, then we mix it with the topsoil that we had put aside during preparing the hole for planting. So once it is mixed, everything will be ready for planting. And so now we can continue with the process of planting.
So even before we plant, I would like to know which variety is this, because there are different varieties of bananas, there's tissue culture and the rest. Which variety is this?
In Kenya, we have two main types of bananas. We have the cooking variety, and then we have the ripening varieties. So like where we are here, this is the cooking variety. Normally among the cooking varieties, you can also produce the planting material either through the tissue culture. That would be a hybrid planting material. But you can also get the planting material from the suckers. Normally most of the local varieties, the local varieties that we plant, we get them from the suckers, and that is what most farmers are doing. But you have to know how to choose the right sucker to plant, because if you don't choose a good sucker, then of course you see the growth will not be good. So normally a sucker that should be used for planting should be 1 meter tall, and 1 meter tall with about 5 leaves. Yeah, that is a good sucker for planting. Then, of course, you'll get the sucker from the mother plant. Then, of course, the sucker has to be treated.
And how do you normally treat it?
Normally, we normally use the hot water treatment. The hot water treatment, you can use water which is boiling. And then you dip the sucker, you dip it there for 30 seconds. So that would disinfect. It will kill most of the pests that could be hiding in the roots. It also kills nematodes and also some diseases, especially the viral and bacterial diseases.
Using boiled water won't kill the nature of the crop?
No, because it is only put there for 30 seconds. So for 30 seconds, the cells will not be killed. Yeah, so the plant is still alive. And you can plant it. And
is there something that is added to the boiled water, perhaps salt or even sugar?
No, we don't add anything. Water has to be boiled until it is actually hot. It is boiling, so that is just enough. Yeah.
So that is the first step. So we can plant now, yeah?
Yeah, we can plant now.
Okay, let's plant.
We've treated our seedling, the bananas. Seedling, so now we can go ahead and plant.
I see the rays are here, but it won't stop us to plant it. I can have that shovel. Let me help you, Alan. So we start with which soil?
The one that goes in first is the topsoil that was mixed with manure. That's the one that you fill. You used to fill the hole up to a level of 30 centimeters.
I think I'm good at this.
Yeah, of course. I can see you are a very good farmer. Yeah, you are good.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is enough. That is enough.
So we mix the topsoil and the manure inside?
Yeah, inside the hole. Yeah, we mix inside the planting hole.
Okay.
So that the manure is well mixed with the topsoil.
Yes. And after that, what do we do?
After that, you ensure that the topsoil is the topsoil mixed with manure is put back up to a level of 30 centimeters.
Yes. So we can do the planting.
Yeah, the treated sucker is put at the center of the hole.
Okay.
You make sure it is put inside the hole at the center. And as we hold it, you will continue putting the topsoil mixed with the manure.
Okay, hold this for me so that I can be of help and practical.
So now we'll ensure that the soil is put back.
So for bananas, which soil is favorable?
Loamy soil is the best. Banana is very sensitive to water logging. Yeah, so loamy soil is well-drained soils, and that is the best for bananas. The moment they get a lot of water, the roots cannot absorb any nutrients.
Samuel, I think this is enough, yeah?
A little bit more. So at that moment, we can also put back some subsoil. Yeah, some subsoil.
Which one is the subsoil from here?
Yeah, the subsoil is the other heap on that other side. Yeah, then this one was the topsoil mixed with the manure.
Okay.
So as you put back, you ensure that the hole is filled up to a level of around 40 centimeters. We leave a space of about 20 centimeters.
Let me let you continue with this, Eli. But now I would like to know the management practices, especially at these levels, so that this crop can mature well.
Yeah, immediately after planting, depending on the weather condition, if it is dry, then you need to do watering immediately. Then this one will be followed by mulching. You ensure that you put mulch around the plant. And
why is it so important to mulch bananas? Because I know it's synonymous with other crops, but for bananas?
To conserve moisture. You know, if it is dry, the young seedling as it grows, it needs some moist condition. So you need to conserve that moisture.
And I see it's already here.
That it is already here.
You can actually come and put it in.
We shall put it.
Wow, by now I'm sure you've learned a lot about this planting of bananas. This is the local variety, And one thing I've noticed is that you put mulch before you put water. That's something I didn't know, and also about treating. Today we are focusing on banana farming, but not just your typical banana farming, because there are different varieties. There's tissue culture, there's local variety. So today our main focus was local variety. But right here, I've been told that there is an improved variety, or perhaps tissue culture is an improved local variety. So let's just learn more about this particular type of farming, because this will definitely interest you. So shall we? Okay. So,
Yes.
there are a lot. Which variety did you say?
This is the tissue culture variety. As you can see, it is an improved form of banana variety. This is in terms of the yield and also the growth rate. It grows very fast. Yeah, actually within 8 months you should start harvesting.
Yeah.
The local variety takes so many months, maybe like 1.5 years before you can start harvesting.
So that's the major difference. But now, since today we are focusing much on the local variety, what's the major difference between this local variety and the rest?
The local varieties, you know, they are disease resistance and also pest resistance, but they are also adaptable to our local climate. And that is why most farmers would go for them.
So with the variety that you have here, is it possible for someone else to grow it in another area, or it varies? The varieties varies according to where you want to grow.
Yeah, the varieties which are found in this place, they are adaptable to this kind of temperatures and also the rains. You know, this place receives some good amount of rainfall. If you take this variety to maybe eastern or northeastern, or in coastal areas, it will not perform very well because those areas receive some little amount of rainfall. But there's also a variety for those areas.
So at this stage, because we've just planted, by the time it grows to this stage, what are some of the management practices so that you achieve good yield?
One of the management practices is weeding. You need to ensure that the weeds are not there. You know, the weeds compete with bananas for nutrients. The other thing that you need to do is you need to do what we call desuckering. As you can see, in bananas there are a lot of suckers which are produced, especially when it rains. But you need to maintain a minimum number. That is the mother, the daughter, the granddaughter. So at least a total of 4 per stool. The other one is removing the dry leaves. As the bananas grow, some of the leaves they dry up. You need to cut them out so that new leaves can now emerge. So removal of the dry leaves. The other thing that you do is what we call disbudding. That is the removal of the male buds. And the reason why you do that is because you want the fruits to grow big. You know, well, some of the food, the nutrients get into the buds, so they deny the fruits the nutrients. So when you remove it, most of the nutrients will now go to the fruit, and the fruit will be big. You also enhance maturity. When the male bud is there, the bananas take too long to mature. The fruits take too long to mature. So when you remove the buds, they will mature fast.
I see they have different heights. Yeah, there are some that are very tall and there are some that are short. What does this mean? Is it that when it's tall like that, it is a good variety?
The tallness is mostly dependent on the variety, because we have some varieties which are tall. The others, they are dwarf varieties. So actually tallness does not determine the maturity, but you look at the size of the fruits. When the fruits are not mature, they are angular in shape. But as they mature, they become more rounded. And of course, you see the bud or the male bud start to dry up. So at that point, you need to cut it out.
I see like the one right beside you, it's quite bended, yeah? It needs to be raised, or it can just grow like that?
Yeah, what we have not done with this is that we needed to do what we call propping. So propping is when you give it a support with a U-shaped stick. It's a long stick which is U-shaped, and you use it to support the bananas. Yeah, so that is called propping.
So I'm curious, at this level, do you also have to put manure or fertilizer at this stage?
You can do top dressing when the rains come, because when you top dress, when it is dry, it will burn the suckers. So once the rains come, you can do top dressing. But the other thing that you have mentioned is putting the manure. You need to do manuring. Bananas, they are heavy feeders. So every season you need to add more manure so that they get more nutrients. Otherwise, if you don't do manuring and top dressing, the size of the fruits will start becoming smaller and smaller.
You say that this is called a stool, yeah? So what is the spacing between one stool and the next?
Yeah, the spacing depends on the climatic conditions. In areas which receive good rainfall, like in this place, Limuru, you can use a spacing of 3 meters by 3 meters. In drier areas, the spacing is increased. That is, you can use 4 meters by 4 meters.
That's so good to know. But now let's move to the money factor, which everyone has been waiting for. What are the dynamics involved?
You can imagine if you plant one banana, you just plant one sucker. After about 8 months, the one that you have planted, especially with the tissue culture, it has matured. But remember, it has produced maybe another 4 suckers. So you'll harvest the mother plant, and in the next season, another 6 or 7 months, the 4 will have matured. But before you harvest, then they have also produced more suckers. So actually it is very economical, and it is something that you don't need a lot of labor. Once you are planted, weeding is not done regularly. Then fertilizers, you just use the manure which is locally found.
So when it comes to bananas, which one would you advise, especially from an expert's perspective, which variety is good, especially for commercial purposes?
You should do the tissue culture. The tissue culture, they grow fast. So you'll start your harvesting fast, get your returns fast. The other thing is that they are more productive. If you look at the size of the bananas that they will give you, it's quite big. So in terms of productive growth rate, but they also, tissue culture, they resist most of the diseases.
Now that you've mentioned about the diseases, which disease is actually rampant for bananas and farmers should be aware and how to handle it?
Panama disease, you have the Siga end rot, those are fungal. For the fungal diseases, you can spray. But the one which is now giving farmers headache is bacterial wilt, which is becoming resistant to most of the chemicals that we have. Most of the chemicals that we have in the market, they are not effective against bacterial wilt.
What are some of the challenges that you can experience as a banana farmer?
Yeah, the challenges, one of the challenges is the climate. You know, the climate is, we are talking of climate change. So sometimes we have prolonged drought and farmers would get losses due to poor rains. And that is why they need to mulch. They need to mulch, and in some cases they can irrigate. Those people who have water nearby, they can do irrigation. The other challenge that many farmers are facing is marketing. we don't have organized market for bananas. So each farmer is to look for a market for themselves. So for other crops, the market is organized. But for bananas, we don't have aggregation centers where farmers can take their crop and then they are sold. So marketing is still a challenge.
And what are some of the benefits of being a banana farmer? What are some of the things that you would pride yourself with?
Yeah, bananas is rich in carbohydrate. It's especially the cooking variety. So see, it's actually food, and it adds to our food security. Rich in carbohydrate, vitamins, and also potassium, which is very important for our body function. But we also know that bananas, we can also feed it to our livestock, especially when we have a problem of fodder. When there is drought, if a dairy farmer has some bananas, of course the animals cannot go hungry. They will be feeding on bananas. Bananas can also be used in basketry. So like the stems, you can use them to make those baskets, which can be sold to generate more income. Yeah, so, but again, it can be used for mulching. Like the type of farming that we are doing, we do mulching, and when we prune the excess leaves, we normally use it for mulching. We are talking of food insecurity. Like we have been having high cost of food in Kenya. So one of the crops that can help us in restoring food security is bananas, because bananas, most of the varieties that we have, they are drought resistant. So farmers can at least harvest even when the rains are too low. Also with the new varieties which have been developed by our research institutions, which are fast growing, so we can upscale. Farmers can upscale, and there's a big market, because now in Kenya we are talking about food insecurity. So that means if you produce your bananas, you can still sell.
So you've talked about basketry, but mention some of the things that a farmer can explore when it comes to value addition of bananas.
If farmers are able to do value addition, then of course they can mitigate some of the problems which are faced in marketing. Most of the agricultural crops, they are perishable. So if you do value addition, they can be packed, and you increase the shelf life. And one of the value addition that you can do to bananas is making banana flour. Banana flour can be used to make cakes, can be used to make chapatis. You can also do banana crisps, which can stay for long.
That is really quite insightful. So I would like to know which one is ripe, which one is ready for harvest. Is there some that you can harvest that are ready?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, okay. Then let's find out. I see there's so many. So this one is ready. This is so big.
Yeah, this one is ready for harvesting. When you are harvesting, you must take some precautions, because remember, you want to retain the quality of the fruit. The fruit should not be broken. So you must ensure that when you are harvesting, the fruit quality is retained. And this is how you harvest. First, you need to weaken the stem. You weaken the stem a bit, so that when it falls down, it falls down slowly. And so
you can weaken it some more.
You can weaken it more and more.
So like how many kgs and how much do you think you'll earn from this?
This is around 60 kgs.
60 kgs.
Yes. So 60 kgs goes at around 800 shilling.
800? That's good money per bunch.
Yeah.
Wow, I've learned so much.
Yeah.
I truly appreciate. Thank you so much for imparting so much knowledge on banana farming and the different varieties.
Welcome.
We truly appreciate it. you for being part of the show today. Have you heard about that? This is 60 kgs, and in a bunch you can get like what, 800 shillings? It's a lot of money, and you can imagine all the way down, and there's a lot of banana trees right here. So thank you so much for being part of the show. I hope you've learned something, and you can also explore the different varieties available for bananas. There's local, there's tissue culture, and you have to treat your suckers. By the time you're planting it, treat it with as simple as hot water. How about that? Thank you so much. See you again next Sunday. My name is Linda Koske. Let me go take this home and cook it.